Hi, it's Johnny McCann from Victor Chandler. Welcome to a preview of this weekend's big race. It is the Racing Post Chase from Kempton Park. Finally, just a quick review of last weekend. What did we learn? Ben Salem, 6s into 7s. Alan King has decided the Festival Chase is the race for him. Remember, then the corresponding race in 2010, he fell 2 out when seemingly, I know Chocolate Thornton and Connection did feel that the race was at their mercy almost. The race won by Chief Dan George. It was desperate ground. He couldn't get past Cross Cannon, but Travel like much the best horse at Haydock. They didn't really, I think, get to the bottom of it, and it's fair to say they do expect Ben Salem. 6-1 from 7-1 with ourselves at VC. That's for the Festival Chase. Masterminds and Big Bucks. It was the Paul Nicholls Open day, the sort of press day before the Cheltenham Festival. These were the two he suggested there's 2 for the festival. Okay, Corto, Denman, this wind operation that he's had since the Hennessy, also Gazeo and other things, but it was really keen on Mastermind. That was his nap. 5-2 with ourselves at Victor Chandler, and also Big Bucks going for a hat-trick on the run. Of course, the Mastermind is also going for 3 champion chases. He'll be the first horse since Badwood Boy in the early 80s. Of course, he won it for the Dickinsons to win 3 champion chases. Masterminded still 11-10 with ourselves at VC, and we can't give him away. Because punters and myself think this is a much more difficult race than the races he's had in the last couple of years. Big Time for Rupert last year, and in 2009, Big Punches Stance. Quickly on as well, Pedlar's Cross. He won the Victor Chandler Moore Battle at Kelso last time. 6 is on. He remains on course for the Champion Hurdle, and what a race that will be. And back in focus, 7-1 for the Albert Bartlett. It looks a weak Albert Bartlett. This was an expensive purchase for Howard Johnson, won a Haydock. I'm not convinced the form is worth a great deal. Looks a wonderful staying chaser in the north, maybe on soft ground, but at this moment in time, we really don't know. It's desperate ground at Haydock. On to Saturday, and the Adonis Juvenile Hurdle begins. A cracking card. Celtus is a fascinating runner of Henderson. Remember, Henderson won this last year with Soldatino, but you consider the past winners of this race. We've had Binocular, Punjabi, 2 previous winners of the Champion Hurdle. We also had Bilbao of France. We've had Well Chief. This is a nailing good race under normal circumstances, but do look out for that. Big festival clues for this race. The second one is the Pendle Novices Chase, and I'm old enough to remember Pendle and Johnny Franken blames himself for Pendle never winning a Gold Cup, but we wouldn't know if he stayed. He was almost unbeatable around Kempton Park, hence the name in his honour. Captain Chris, 4 successive seconds, but going right-handed. Surely he's got no Medemy against him. He only looks like Royal Charm. Rackham LaRouge will run a better race than he did at Bangor, but Captain Chris, look out for that 2.5 miles flat track. It looks ideal. No Medemy, maybe beaten in the Scilly Isles second running on last time. To the Racing Post Chase itself, the big race. We are a quarter of the odds, of course, 1, 2, 3 and 4 places at Victor Chandler. And it's a great renewal. It's a smashing race. Got 2 previous winners in the race. Nakaraha won it in 2009, Andres Royale in 2010. Whether we bet 5-1 the favourite Fistral Beach, he was the 130 favourite for the corresponding race in 2010. Fell at the second, only got as far as second. Another Nicholls horse who's had a wind operation. He won very impressively on his comeback run. Then made a favourite for the Great Yorkshire Chase at Doncaster at the end of January. That, of course, was abandoned, so since then Nicholls has said this horse will come here and he must have every chance. 5-1 now. He was 130 last year. Wouldn't surprise me if there again was a gamble for him. Nakarad is difficult, I must say, to see the money. He's the horse that we've seen most money for at Victor Chandler. 11-2 now from 7-1 originally, 7-1 into 13-2, and now 11-2, only because he won off a mark of 147 rather, when he won 2 years ago. Now off 146. It's just probably because of a bit of a side theatre as Frank Long runs King George with Nakara, of course, who was back in 4th on that occasion. Tom George, remember, still hasn't had a winner in a long time, but his horses do seem to be running a bit better. It's then 7-1 Cans. This is an interesting one of Hobbs. Hobbs has got 2 very interesting runners in the race. 7-1, 3 from 3 his last 3 races going right-handed. Hasn't won in any of his last 5, maybe 6 starts going left-handed. Right-handed Cans, he is a big player. 7-1, 3 from 3 his last 3 runs. Very progressive chaser. 9-1 then backbencher. I just don't think his jumping is good enough. I know he won in Exeter, it was a bit of a bog, and he didn't jump well enough for me. A lovely horse. I love backbencher. When he was a hurdler, I thought he'd go to the top of the ranks, probably right-handed suit him best as well. but I just don't think he will jump well enough. Sagaric as well won at Doncaster last time for Sir Robert Ogden. Don't think he's good enough. The other one I'm very interested in is Mostly Bob. Now this will win a big race. I'm absolutely convinced of that. He should have won on his penultimate start. Very impressive last time. 7 seconds below standard on good ground at Doncaster. I think the ground is the key to this horse. To me, he has something like the Scottish Grand National. I think he's running off a mark in the mid 130s. Mostly Bob, maybe in time, may become a Grand National horse. I'm very, very, very taken with this horse, but he may be ground dependent. I think he's going to win in soft ground, but all his improvement seems to have been on good or fast ground. But do look out for them. Do look out for McCann's as well. They've got a big say, I think, in the Racing Post Chase. Have the Hobbs horses. Hey Big Spender won at Warwick last time, as flattered to deceive on a number of occasions. Cracking horse, well, lovely front runner. 12-1 then for Tattanen as well. 14-1 for Polyfast, and of course Henderson's got a cracking record at Kempton, and of course Polyfast, I remember winning I think last Boxing Day at Kempton, and so he's got course form as well. But Fisherell Beach is our 5-1 favourite. 100-30 went off for the corresponding race. He only got as far as the second. That's for Paul Nichols. He will want to win on Racing Post Chase Day. It's a quarter beyond to course 1, 2, 3, 4 with ourselves at Victor Chandler. Be lucky.
Bet now at victorchandler.com.